And we live now.
Alex the Car Doctor, welcome back to another live.
Mrs. Car Doctor, I wonder did they catch me singing there? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. How y'all doing today? It's a mighty fine rainy Sunday here in
I
Georgia.
love rainy days. My energy reflects the weather.
I know, because he ain't good for nothing. He just lay around or do nothing,
I
Good.
had I had a nice little rest today. I needed it.
Yeah, he did. He worked 6 days this week.
Yeah, 6 days. I was gonna work today, but I'm like, if I do that, I won't be no good for you guys.
Right. And you don't want to burn yourself out. Like, I know you want to get work done and everything, but
Yeah.
like, what they say, if you don't rest, your body will arrest you. Either way.
Something like that.
Watching from Detroit, David, what's
Hey, what's
happening?
going on, David? How are you, buddy?
Dang, they hot with the questions. I'm here. Come on in. They said, forget all that banter. Let's get started. Austin Bloom says, do you recommend the DOD delete on the Chevy 5.3s?
I do. I really do. I've heard many stories where, many cases where someone is getting off the freeway, and as soon as they exit off the freeway of cruising, that's normally when your DOD is activated and go into four-cylinder mode. Get off the freeway, the truck starts skipping. So if you can do that, it'll be a good idea. It will stop those valves from collapsing and getting stuck in the collapsed position. But you still may have future problems because lately I've been doing nothing but regular lifters. So you still can run into it, but it will slow down the problem.
Yeah. So, dang.
Yeah.
All right. Lakes Automotive Diagnostics say, hey, Lakes.
Hey, what's going on,
I've
Lakes?
been watching your channel. I like what I see. All right. Ahmad said, same here. Man, it is a lazy Sunday. David said, oh, you got allergies?
Something like that.
He don't take his stuff. I provide the medication. Do he take the medication?
No.
So
let my body
don't
do
be
the
over there
natural
saying,
thing.
his wife take great care of him. Now, do he listen? No, he don't. David says he's an up and coming tech. Good for you. What made you want to get into business?
What's up, buddy?
Do you like working on cars? Let us know. We want to know why you decide to do this profession. Austin Bloom says, I've used a range AFM disabler for a while now. Seems to do okay.
Well, long as it disables it, you're good to go. There's many options of disabling it out there because it's a wide known problem. And a lot of companies want their hand in your pocket.
I'm telling you. I had to tell our kids the other day, listen, the whole world wants your money. You got to figure out how to keep it. He says, okay, thank you. Jonathan Price says, what happens if a 3800 drop a piston?
You need a new motor. That's what it says. The head. It destroys a lot of stuff if something like that happens.
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
Pretty catastrophic failure right there. Dang, what you been doing to that car, Jonathan, that it dropped the piston? Tell us. David says, found you a couple of weeks ago. Love the content. Thank you, David. Keep on watching.
I appreciate it.
You're going to learn something messing with Alex.
I really appreciate the love, and I'm going to share you all. I'm going to share it all, and I don't hold nothing back.
Grandpa was a master tech, died when I was 2. Growing up knowing he did it made me want to start.
Oh, exactly. Nice. Yes, keep that family lineage
going.
Alive.
Yeah. Actually, what's crazy is Alex. Okay, so Alex's father is black. Well, was black. He never got a chance to meet his dad because he died before he was born. Alex's mom is white, so he has a extended white family in Tennessee whom he's never met. But I heard that they work on cars, so sometimes that stuff just be in your DNA, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Definitely get passed down through your DNA.
Right.
Mechanics.
Right. Awesome. Thank you. Your videos are great. Thank you.
Austin.
Ahmad, I talked about a misfire on my Chevy Cruze to you about a year ago. I changed my gas injector, spark plugs, gas pump, a couple of sensors, and nothing happened. Turns out it was the coil. Shaking my head.
Yes, it's one of the Chevy Cruze has that coil block. It's just the one big coil.
I always start with the coil. Spark plugs and coil. Back in the day, they used to have spark plug wires.
Yes,
wire set.
Then they went to coils, and that's pretty much been the norm.
But look, at least you can say that stuff been changed, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And if you're gonna keep the car, it wasn't in vain.
Right.
Got some new parts.
Mister, the car care nut says never do a 10K oil change when even if the manufacturer says so. Go 5 minutes instead. Do you agree?
Um,
I think he meant
yeah,
5.
intervals. He's talking
Yeah.
about intervals.
Okay.
I'm cheap. And I don't like working on my own. Well, I do love working on my own car, but it's hard. I gotta rephrase that. It's hard for me to work on my own car. So I go by that manufacturer specification with my VW TDI. If anybody know diesels out there, diesel oil gets the dirtiest, the quickest. It just fills with soot. Um, I I believe in that because the New Day oil can handle that abuse of a 10K interval oil change. It's the oil properties that breaks down lowering the intervals, and they done found a way that it keep those properties alive to keep protecting your engine. So it just depends on what quality oil you use. If you're taking it to like these in and out oil change places, they probably not putting the best quality oil in your car. And that's where the problem lies here, where the consumer is relying on other people to do the right thing, and you know how this industry
don't know
go.
behind the scenes what really happens. That's what I'm saying.
So they probably putting 5K interval and you taking another extra 5K. Of course, you're gonna destroy your engine.
King of the Wind, come in with the tip. Thank you.
So
Found
much.
the channel last
really
week.
appreciate
Loved
the
it.
tip.
Yes, and thank you for coming to the live. That's why we do these, to get to know you guys. I don't ever want it to get to the point where we can't respond or conversate, and
it's been getting that way. I know my Facebook it done went off the chain.
It's doing too much over there. They're doing too much.
My Facebook, it's catching up with you guys as subscribers. I'm like, God.
Yeah.
Man, much love.
Much love. Appreciate it. Jonathan Price says, I love it. I drove it into some water on a flood road, parked at my house, and then had it towed for a no crank. He's talking about the drop the piston.
Oh yeah, you hydro locked it. Yeah. Ugh, that's ugly. That engine is just most likely destroyed. Anytime engine components fall apart in the inside, you will most likely damage the block. It's just
that's what happened to that Mustang that we got. We got a Cobra in the shop that he drove it through a puddle of water and just
destroyed it.
Yeah, gonna need a new engine, Jonathan.
I actually have one. Are you local?
Yeah, if you local,
what series of 3.8? Let me know.
I got the 3.8. We got the parts for you now.
Yeah.
Tim Birch says, having problem installing the radiator on the Dodge Durango GT 3.6 2017. Any suggestion?
Do I have a video on that?
No. I don't think so.
That's one of those things that's better shown than talked about. I could have sworn I had a video.
Let me write that down to get that
a radiator,
because we just did a radiator not too long ago.
We did one on a probably charger or something. But
well, any tips that you can think of?
Is different. Not off the top of my head.
What specific problems are you have, Tim? Let us know, so maybe we could
more details.
He could imagine it and kind of point you in the right direction. Just Life, look like that's a Puerto Rican flag right there. Yeah, Puerto Rico. Oh. You know the Cuban flag is kind of the same. You got to watch it. But anyway, he says, R17 Mazda CX-5 any good?
Oh yeah, Mazda, man, they are on it. The Mazdas they done surpassed Nissan in reliability. It used to be like the top 3 Japanese: Nissan, Toyota, and something. I don't know.
Honda.
Something. Yeah, Honda. I can't believe I forgot Honda. Now it's Mazda, Nissan, the Mazda, Toyota, and
Honda.
Honda, yeah. I keep leaving out Honda.
I'm telling y'all, he's sluggish today. I don't know.
Didn't rest
too much rest. And we watched Avatar: The Way of the Water. Man, it's like a 3-hour movie, man.
I enjoyed that. I took me a little mini nap, and man, I'm dreaming about what's going on. That stuff got inside me.
SFM Collective says, thanks, guys. Love y'all. We love you back.
We're very loving people.
Yeah, we are. Thinker Outside the Box. Hey there, good folks. Happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday. Thinker Outside the Box. That's I don't forget that name. Him and Mike P.
It's a couple of them. You got the More Medic. It's a couple. Like, we're actually trying to remember everybody. Now, hopefully our channel does blow up, and I don't think I can remember 100,000 people, but the ones that show up in the comments, like we do acknowledge and remember that. David says, just followed your IG on my work page. Mean a lot if you take a look. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yes, please. I will check that probably later on tonight and be glad to point you and, shoot you in some steps.
Caper says, what up, guys? What's up? You know what? I was watching a Martin reunion. And
oh, that was great. I kind of enjoyed that. Blah, blah, blah.
What's up? Caper says, other than Toyota, Honda, what car brand would you recommend?
Mazda. Subaru has been pretty on it. Kind of biased towards Subaru, so that really don't count. Mm-hmm. But they're very good car makers.
Mitsubishi?
Yes, Mitsubishi is one of those underrated, forgot about cars that I just forgot about. Mm-hmm. No one really think about them because they were, just a Mitsubishi.
We don't see a lot of them.
Never in the shop, boring, sort of like Toyota. But hey, the most reliable cars out there are the boring ones.
I guess the question would be, are they as pricey as a Toyota?
Oh, no, I don't think they are. So, I haven't really looked at the price marketing of a Mitsubishi because I don't really be studying it like that. No one really be studying them like that. Yeah. But they reliable.
Definitely underrated. I mean, listen, y'all might throw eggs at me for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and block, but it's nothing wrong with the Pentastar. At least you know what you're getting into. Better to know the devil than the one you don't.
She's trying to make it so y'all can come visit my shop so we can see y'all in person.
No, for real. I would buy a Challenger, little Challenger. You know what I'm saying?
SRT. Everybody say if you're gonna go Fiat, go SRT. They make their cars. They put more performance stuff in them. More performance stuff means more stuff that's built up and stronger. Don't break.
Right. Yeah. I will say I've never had a favorite car until I bought a SRT to flip.
That thing was nice.
And it wasn't even a newer one. It was like a 06. And I hit the gas. Man, if I would have had a wig on, it would have came off. That's how that thing fly. You can't duplicate that power. And
I can't wait till I finish my cutlass.
See, there he go. Let me go on back to the question. Mr. says, any suggestions on keeping a Mazda direct injection engine from building up carbon? Engine is a 2.5 turbo specifically. Wheel is over-the-counter cleaner cause damage?
No, they make a special direct injection cleaner. It's called but if you Google direct injection cleaner, it's sort of like doing a fuel induction service on the car, but you can't really prevent them by dumping stuff in the tank. That's not going to work because when you dump stuff in your tank, the stuff only cleans the injectors and it still bypasses the top of the valves because a direct injected engine is the injector is directly inside the combustion chamber versus a port injection. The port injection is on top of the valve and it continues to keep it clean. Port injection, direct injection, the valves just get really caked up over time and it'll start causing problems.
You like any of these?
That's it right there.
GDI service.
Yes.
All right, let me see.
That's it. That's the spray I use.
All right, I'm gonna see. Can I put this on the screen for you? I don't know if you can see that, but it's a weird.
Share the screen.
It's called
CRC
intake valve and turbo cleaner. That's what he uses. All right, Mr. Go on to Jonathan 3800 Series 2, and I'm in Ohio, but I go to Indiana.
You got the when is Series 2 in? 04 era, 03.
What we got? 08.
We got the Series 3.
Oh, okay. SMF Club, what part are you guys in? Would love to run by the shop to say hi when I'm in the States. We're in it right outside Atlanta.
About 15 minutes from there.
From the Atlanta Hartsfield Airport in Morrow. Our address is on the internet. You can Google it. 9 to 6. That's when we be there.
And if you call, you're gonna get my front desk, Shan, not me.
Never.
A lot of people think people be blowing her up all day long.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It says, are they better than the Kia?
Or
Mitsubishi, my baby, anything better than Kia?
Gosh, yes.
Papi, anything better than Kia? Hey, look.
Kia's on my crap list right about now. Like
I'm
I would take an Altima before I have a Kia.
I
don't have to
told
worry
y'all.
about my car getting stolen. I don't have to worry about my engine just magically going out. I just got a transmission to worry about. I take that over any day because I know I take care of it.
Told y'all last week or whatever week that was, and I say it again. The best Kia ever made, they don't make it, and that was the Kia Sophia. If you ain't buying that, don't buy nothing.
Tony, what's going
Tony
on, buddy?
Speed.
That's my guy.
Jose Pagan. I told y'all my Espanol is on. It's on the top. Okay. 2012 Chevy Equinox. We did steering wheel angle and sensor, and still reading Cerro after programming. What you got?
I would need to know a code. It may have a wiring problem.
All right, Jose, do you got a code for us? Check engine light on.
Well, it's not. It's on steering angle sensor, so it's gonna be like ABS light and some other lights dealing with the steering system.
Okay. All right. King of the Wild. Just like my wife has a 18. Oh, he's talking to Just Life here. 18 Mazda CX-5. We bought it in 19 and she loves it. Just basic maintenance. Exactly.
How's it been for you?
King of the Wind. I'm sorry.
I don't see them in the shop, so I just know Mazdas are good and they rank some of the top in I read a lot of Consumer Reports.
Yeah, we do. Actually, we got one in here issue. I don't know where it's
they
at.
normally rank up there.
Yes, share with us. How is the Mazda treating you? How many miles on it? Give us some more details about Mazda because we really don't have a lot to go off of. I will say we did a transmission on one once, and that was like 2 years ago.
Yes, it was a while, but we did 2 engines on one, but people just don't know how to take care of their car. It's like
no, you're talking about Mitsubishi.
No, it was a Mazda. Oh no, it was a Mazda. We didn't have no Mitsubishi. I'm talking about Mazdas.
You sure about it? Because your memory is a little...
I know we did an engine on one. But
Mazda.
but they probably overheated it or something weird.
User neglect. That is a thing. So we can't really grade how good or bad a car is if the drivers or the owners are neglecting their maintenance.
Because this was low miles,
which is common. Sweet tea. That's what I'm talking about. Should I give my 1998 Honda Passport to the junkyard with less than 200,000 miles? It has stopped. Man, no, Sweet tea.
Oh, no. That junkyard gonna be like,
that car
appreciate the car.
Right. Come sell it to me. Come on. I pay for the shipping. Sell it to me for the junkyard price. Whatever the junkyard give you, I match that and then give you some more.
Do not do that.
Right. Don't do
that car, even though you think, it's not worth fixing. That's a car that's worth fixing. That old Passport, I've seen with way more miles. Yes, it may be boring, little SUV, but it'll just keep running.
I've seen a Passport with almost 400,000 miles on there. Now, if you want another car to look good, then you just pull that one out on Sunday.
Yes, exactly. But keep your old reliable.
Ride that Honda.
And I leave the power steering leak. I'm running around with the power steering leak right now. It's kind of getting on my nerves.
And that's how you being ghetto. You can't be riding around like that. That's why I don't ride with him, because I don't have time for that. Ahmad says, tell us a story of a bad job that was a pain because of poor engineering. Like bad bolt replacement, for example. Get that all the time. What's something?
It was one recent. I did a short on it. It was a power steering pump on a Buick Enclave, and their sister trucks are the Traverse, the Arcadia, and the Saturn Outlook. Those are all the same trucks. And where they put the power steering pump is a true pain in the butt. Mm-hmm. You just have to take your time.
Nissan Murano with the alternator. You got a dang near tech. Is that the Murano? All the SUVs that's really tight to get into.
Nah, I'd rather do that versus that power steering pump.
You really didn't like that power steering pump?
I never liked those power steering pumps because...
Is that the hardest job?
No, and nothing is hard for me. It's just more time consuming. Anytime something's time consuming. And then lately I've been getting pulled away from jobs because I'm a man down and I gotta be boss man and mechanic at the same time. So that's hard.
Hard to do. Just Life said, should we stay away from CVT?
I would. Toyota makes
I'm
some of
finna
the
say
best.
depends on who make them.
Yeah, Toyota makes some of the best CVT transmissions. Yeah, that's my take on that.
Subaru has CVT too.
Oh yeah, but Subaru, you got to be careful of Subaru because Toyota and Subaru got something going on. They in bed together, so I consider a Subaru a Toyota because, like I said, they have the BRZ. No, yeah, it's a BRZ, and they got the Scion. They mix. They got something in bed together.
All right. Esmeralda Bailon. I have an 04 Dodge Ram 4.7. When I stop at a light, the temperature goes up a bit over normal temp, but I drive it goes down to the middle. Why it's supposed to be? What do you think? Maybe fan clutch?
Yeah, you're definitely having a cooling fan issue. The cooling fan kicks in when you're at a standstill because you got to think the radiator needs air going through the radiator to perform the heat transfer, to bring down the coolant temperature. And if you're at a standstill, the radiator is not working, so they put a fan in there to pull air through. So I would definitely check that. 04, I think they still may use fan clutch, like you said. So you may want to invest in that.
Chapo, the blue Hewler. Hey Alex, what does it mean when I drive my 04 Honda Civic up a hill and the engine lose power?
04 Honda Civic, up a hill. You're probably having a transmission issue, my friend. It's the job of the transmission to reduce stress on the engine. Picture this. Everybody know about a mountain bike, right? Everybody done drove one. Picture the gears like on a mountain bike, just like on a car. Instead of the car engine propelling the car, we're propelling the car with our feet. And on a mountain bike, if you're in the wrong gear trying to go uphill, you're either just going to stop and just push the bike, or you're going to downshift to that bigger sprocket in the back, and you're going to pedal up the hill with no problem. So you're most likely having a transmission issue. Normally when people say, oh, I'm trying to pull a hill, it's like no power. I don't care if I get on the gas or not, unless you have a check engine light or your car go to skipping, then that's an engine issue. But if your engine is not sputtering or sounding crazy, most likely it's a transmission issue. Your transmission is probably stuck in like third gear or something weird like that.
Let us know if you have any check engine light on. Yeah. Red, I'm gonna say red because I don't know what that says. Red 72, currently working on a 3.6 Pentastar due to a cylinder 3 misfire. Leak down was good till I removed the radiator cap and the coolant came flowing out. Still read good on the test though.
So I'm assuming the car was cold because sounds like something's going on with the head gasket or the cylinder head itself. I do know what year Pentastar. In a certain year Pentastars, they had bad heads, but it may be a deformed head gasket or something weird going on. Is the car running hot? I would need to know that.
Awesome, guys. Thank you. Wow, didn't know y'all was in ATL. Hey, man, I ain't wearing this Falcon shirt for nothing. Even though, I don't know what our team gonna do this year, but still.
I don't follow football.
Born and raised in Atlanta.
Put me in front of a race or something.
Born at Grady Hospital. Me and Alice. Okay. Yep. We didn't
Grady
flew
babies.
here. We grew here.
Grady Hospital, Grady High School.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did go to Grady.
I thought that was funny.
All right. Daniel BC says the owner of the Dodge Durango really loved his old truck. All the truck needs is a paint job. I'm a GM guy. Okay, so if y'all haven't seen the latest video we put up, so we got currently this 99 Dodge Durango, and he might hop in and check. He normally is. 99 Dodge Durango. 300 and something thousand miles.
350,000 miles.
He decides to put a remanufactured engine in it, which the whole job with all the parts and new parts he's putting on, new cats,
brake lines,
it cost him about $8,000. And we was
Ooh,
asking,
it's ugly.
was it worth it for him to put that amount of money into an old truck that he just bought?
Yeah.
So if y'all want to comment on that as well, you can. But yes, Daniel, I guess he liked it. He really just bought it, so it's not like a lot of sentimental. He told me he bought it because it was black. I don't know. To each their own. Jonathan Inger says, I have a 2011 Nissan Pathfinder. Check engine light comes on when the gas tank is less than half full. And Dash says loose fuel cap. Engine code is for evap leak. Replace the fuel cap. What should I try next?
Ooh, the evap system is pretty much broke down into several pieces. You have your gas cap, that's part of it. That's you already tried that. So the easiest thing would be a smoke test. Perform a smoke test on it, or else you're just going to be throwing parts at it.
Mm-hmm.
But the parts that normally go out is the vent valve or a vent solenoid.
Especially when you're dealing with gas and only has.
Yes, and the purge valve. Purge valve is located near the engine area. That the purge valve lets the gas fumes inside the engine to be burnt within the computer when the computer commands so. The vent valve vents the fumes off the tank when you're pumping gas in the car, so it won't just be stopping. But if it's stuck open, you're just gonna have an evap leak. So yes, that's pretty much it. Oh, of course, some lines, of course. But.
Question for both of you and you. What kind of gas cap did you put on there? Was it aftermarket? And does that matter? Because I know with the Chevy Equinox, you can only go OEM.
I would try the dealership. That would be the most simple way to go before you want to deal with a mechanic shop. So if you went to AutoZone, I wouldn't trust that. Better safe than sorry. Also, if you replace that gas cap, you must erase the check engine light. It will not go away on its own. Most people think it will.
Yeah.
Some cars do, some cars don't. It just depends on how they program.
I just know on the Equinox, you cannot buy like a gas cap from any of the aftermarket stores. One time I had to take one off my other one and put it on there, and it worked because it's OEM. So that could be a cheaper solution for you. Yes. It could just be that it just doesn't like that aftermarket gas cap. Michael Gosmer says, doing a Subaru Outback boxer head gasket. Any tips? I'm doing all the timing components, water pump, etc. Curious since those head gaskets are notorious for gaskets and tips. I'm waiting for parts. Thoughts?
Yes, make sure you find yourself a good machine shop. You want to send that head off to a machine shop and have that head cleaned and checked and resurfaced. That's the biggest tip I got for you there. Because if you're replacing all gaskets, you should be golden and do your head bolts. Do not use the old head bolt. It's not recommended. I'm not saying that I did in the past couple of times and been fine. Ignore that. I'm always tell you guys to do the right stuff. So do the head gasket bolts.
David says, I have replaced my serpentine belt and had it tightened twice, but it starts squealing again after a few days of being tightened. So what should I do to keep it from squealing again?
I'm gonna need to know what type of vehicle you have, because
did he say?
Most modern day vehicles have a automatic tensioner, but from what you're telling me, you said you had it tighten it, so it's a manual tensioner. It's a couple of things that could be going on here. You could have a pulley. A pulley is one of those round, rolly things. It's called a pulley. And it consists of different pulleys. You have your alternator pulley, you have idler pulleys. Idler pulleys just sit there and idle, like the name implies, and so on and so forth. You could have a bad pulley that's starting to seize up, cause your belt to squeal. You could have a leak and that fluid is getting on the belt, causing it to slip. You could have something out of line. So the list goes on, but I would need more information, like what type of car you have.
Ahmad said, I asked you for a story because I'm a third year engineering.
Oh.
And I know we how much pain we cause mechanics.
That's funny. Look, excuse me.
Why y'all be doing that? Like,
no,
it's got to be a rhyme.
I'm about to take up for them. It's not the engineers. it's these big corporate jokers that's hiring the engineers, and y'all pretty much are doing what y'all told. Make it where it will fail in such an amount of time. If you don't, you're fired.
I don't think it go like that.
I guarantee you. That was it in a nutshell.
Tell us, Ahmad. Shed some light.
He's doing what he's told.
Shed some light on this.
Work with plastic, no other material.
No, maybe they was trying to cut costs when they was making the car.
My point exactly. The head joker, not the engineer. If it was left up to this good man Ahmad, I'm pretty sure he will make a car to last forever. I'm telling you, I know what I know.
Okay. All right. A Pina 3 says, I have a 2014 Grand Cherokee that I've replaced the oil in every 3,000 miles. Currently has 85,000 miles and no lifter issues.
Amen for that.
Awesome. Because you definitely know we see them with, you know what? A lot of people are saying they're starting to see failure at 50,000 miles. Can you believe that?
I believe it. We've seen it. I've seen it once or twice.
Easy does it. You like that? I bet you didn't even know that what it said, did it? See that? That's called reading comprehension. Easy does it says Morrow in the building.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we over there. Come holler at us.
Yeah, just come stop in. I'm always welcome to see my people on YouTube.
Oh, he was just clarifying. He was saying since those Subarus are notorious for head gaskets. Sweet T said, okay, he gonna keep the Honda. Don't let me hear about you. Let me find out that Honda done went to the junkyard. I'm coming to see it. Esmeralda says, I also have a 2012 Chevy Impala 3.6. Vibrates when I started on coal. When engine is warm, comes down to normal, then it throws the crankshaft position sensor. Any ideas?
I would need to know mileage. Those 3.6 Pentastars
No,
not Pentastars. Yeah. The GM engine. Oh my gosh, I'm just Pentastar. I'm Pentastar crazy. Those GM engines, they're notorious for timing chain issues. So you have one of those engines that probably the timing chain is stretching out and doing funny stuff on you.
What's the miles? Yes. Let us know. Mo Clamp Production. That's what I'm talking about. What you doing, Mo? Mixtapes, movies? Let me know.
Us know.
How do you prove your inside engine has been replaced?
You can buy a borescope. Yes, you can buy a borescope camera and get down in there. Take out your plugs. Look in there. It should be pretty clean. You really have to start tearing stuff apart.
Really?
Yeah.
Take labor to do, right?
Borescope is your best bet, depending on what engine it is. But any borescope can get down in the spark plug hole. That's one way. Sometimes you can go down through your oil filler neck, but some modern day cars, it has like a silly block off plate, but some cars you can actually get down in there. That's pretty much
the only way.
Yeah, the only couple of ways, unless you want to tear apart your engine yourself, or if you're not having your problem anymore that you had before the engine was replaced. That's another way, because most people replace their engines with used engines and not remanufacture, which I consider a new engine.
I'm going to shoot for the goal here and say despotic. I don't know. He says, good afternoon.
I like the penguin.
Right. I have an 09 BMW X6 and I'm stuck at trying to remove the alternator since I have to remove the AC compressor. Any tips to getting the bolts out of the compressor? Is that what your sister drives?
Yeah, I just did that. That is funny.
And I told you, let's film it. And you said no.
No, I did the AC compressor.
Oh.
So you're going to need
always be filming. I tell you. You don't listen to me.
We did a short.
I could be getting y'all more content, but I can only do what the boss allows. So go ahead, answer the man
You're
question.
going to have to, because I'm pretty sure you're trying to remove the AC compressor, but it keeps binding up against the frame of the car. I think that's, if I remember correctly, that's the problem you're having. You're trying to slide it down, but the bolt is way too long and it's not allowing any way to pass. You have to get yourself a e-torque set. And I think the thing is like a E8. I don't think it's an E8. It's something small, but it's an E bit that you put on the head of the stud and screw the stud out. That's the best way, if I remember correctly, what we're dealing with. Because I just did it. I think I had to remove. I know. I did the AC compressor. I'm trying to remember. I may be thinking about something else. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I have to see a picture again.
How do you feel about Nissan Rogue?
It's an Altima. It's an SUV Altima. So the stories you're hearing about the Nissan Altima, congratulations, you have an Altima that's disguised as a SUV. Same engine, same drivetrain. I don't like them in a nutshell.
Why you don't like?
They have transmission issues. They have catalytic converter issues. Um, they just, I don't know. People with Altimas, they're driving. The Altima drivers, I'm pretty sure you guys heard of them.
I will say any tool that he's naming, you guys, that's his Amazon affiliate store. You can go on there. Any tool, we went and found everything that we have in the shop. Because all of his stuff doesn't come from Snap-on. Like, we real Harbor Freight, wherever we can get it, as long as the tool works. Just go there and browse through, and you can find whatever tool, like the Boroscope, the E-Torque set, you can find that on there.
The E-Torque set in there. Before I let this gentleman go, change your transmission fluid. It will prolong the life of your Rogue, and drive it with care. This is a CVT transmission, and it cannot take modern day drivers. You have to drive it like a grandma if you want that car to last.
Yeah, like my grandma got one.
She got one, and she going on 130, 140, and never had an issue. Mm-hmm. Just basic maintenance.
Don't be out there putting a pedal to the metal.
You can't do that. You'll burn up that transmission.
Gerald Zachary says 2014 Chevrolet Silverado only shakes at 70 miles per hour on the passenger side. What does that mean, Alex?
You very detailed there.
That's what I'm saying.
Passenger side. Start off with having your tires looked at. Let me know if it's 4-wheel drive. I would need to know that to better let you know. But normally a speed thing is a balance issue or a bad tire. Let me know more information and I'll be able to help you out.
This Aaron says, are you aware of any issues so far with the Toyota CVT transmissions? Interested in a new 2023 Corolla hatchback for my girlfriend.
Well, it's a 2023, so you're really not going to see any issues with it. If you do see issues with it, it's going to have a great warranty. And normally the newer vehicles, unless they don't pretty much switched up the whole design, they're using old technology, meaning they're using their engine and transmission from the previous years. And I haven't really heard anything bad with the 19s, the 22s, and things of that sort. So it's a Toyota. You're golden either way.
Yeah, but historically, they're fine. Mm-hmm. We don't hear people crying about them. King of the Wind says, it has low mileage, 25,000, and we do oil changes every 3,000 miles. I feel like Mazdas have nicer interiors than the competition. Has an automatic transmission and not a CVT, which is nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got yourself something there.
Right, yeah. So what he's doing is commenting on Mazda. Alex and I think that Mazdas and Mitsubishis are much more are underrated and probably, and I'm saying this because we haven't really researched it, more affordable than Toyota and Honda. Because everybody can say buy a Toyota, but some people don't have the Toyota budget.
Toyota budget? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't even afford a Toyota yet.
I'm going to keep pushing my TDI. I'm going to just keep driving it.
I'm going to fix my TDI. And until then, I'm going to continue driving my Accord.
Daniel BC says, my truck is an 08. Question about that. I have the heavy-duty towing package with the transmission cooler. I will be 4160E last longer.
The 4060 back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at that. Let me adjust my glasses. That's an L. That's right.
What is he asking? I will.
I gotta go back and find out what was his original question. There's so many people in here tonight.
Oh,
I don't know. Daniel, go ahead and type in what was it about again. I skipped to yours at the bottom. Right quick.
Yeah, I don't know the best thing you can do for them 4L60s.
Was it a Silverado?
Yeah, he said something about a Silverado. Is that the one with the shaking issue?
I don't know.
The best thing you do with those 460s is make sure you keep them serviced every
Was the one
30,000
that was
miles.
going uphill and couldn't?
No, I thought
No,
he
that
had
ain't him.
something else.
Let me scroll to the bottom right quick. See if he said something. No, he haven't said anything yet.
Okay, what?
We almost there. Daniel,
Bring me back up to speed because there's
Yeah.
a lot of questions coming in.
King of the Wild. CVTs are good when serviced, but they are laggy compared to automatic transmission.
Yeah, they don't get you in that seat of the punch feel.
Like you be
From
driving.
I don't like CVTs because they don't feel like I'm going anywhere. But in theory, the engine is standing in sweet spot. All combustion engines have a sweet spot. Sweet spot meaning the RPMs. The car produces its most at a certain RPMs, and it's the job of the CVT transmission just to hold it there. If it can hold it in a sweet spot, the car will accelerate much faster than an automatic. Sort of like an electric vehicle. Electric is instant. You don't have to look for that sweet spot in electric cars. That's why electric cars blast off the line like they do.
He says, will it last longer, the 4L60E?
The 4L60E has been very known to be weak transmissions, especially not when worked. That's what I'm going to say. If you're just driving normal and not really pulling anything heavy, 4L60 is fine. But if you work it, towing, always loading down your truck, you're going to have to service it more than usual. And for something like that year, I would recommend a product called Lucas Transmission Fix.
I swear by
Yes, that stuff is amazing. I dump it in my transmission for preventive maintenance. It's really good. I've seen it bring back reverse in some cars. I've seen it do some amazing stuff. So I would just dump it in there for preventive maintenance. I would change out my fluid and go get me some Lucas transmission stop slip. But you don't have to use it if you're having a problem. You can use it before you get to a problem.
Travesty says, cheers from Ontario, Canada.
Oh yeah, Canada. That's my
trying
new
to
place.
get up there, man, to you. Really am. He says, I'm getting ready to replace my 3.6 and my 14 Ram. Got one from a 17 with 68,000 miles coming. Found out the Rams didn't get the Pug upgrade in 16. So my ECM, will it work with it?
Oh, that's a big jump. I'm trying to figure out when did they deal with the because they started putting oil cooler. It's some not oil coolers, but some EGR cooler on the side of those newer Pentastars, and I'm trying to see if
like
they started in. Yes, I'm trying to see if they started in 18 or 17. If it has that oil cooler, I don't think it'll be compatible.
You mean
not oil cooler, but EGR cooler. If it's the one without the EGR cooler, it should work just fine. You may have to just switch over your injectors just to be on the safe side and your sensors and whatnot. But it should be the same.
He can make it work.
Yeah. Okay. But just make sure it don't have that EGR cooler and make sure it comes from a rear wheel drive and not a front wheel drive config vehicle.
2013 Dodge Durango was running hot, but I never let it overheat, constantly pushing coolant into the overflow. I believe it is the head, as I can hear air in the intake during the leak test.
Oh gosh.
Hoping I'm right.
Do a block test on that vehicle. That's the best way to know if you have a head gasket issue for sure. Just because the temperature hand didn't say it ran hot, you have to be careful because you have a sensor, and where that sensor is probably reading cooler than wherever the hot spot is in your engine, and it can still warp that head in a way. I've actually done it on one of our for sale cars, that Jeep from hell.
I'm never buying another Jeep.
It was a Liberty, beautiful truck. Oh
never
my gosh! So I was driving, and I guess something started leaking, and I'm a mechanic, so I'm not gonna let stuff run hot. I know better. So I seen the temperature hand start going up. I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and shut it down. I don't want to do any damage. I get it towed if I have to. Never let it ran hot. End up blowing a head gasket still. I'm like, oh, I can't believe this.
And it ran so smooth. Yes. I was selling it Guy drove all the way from like Lake Lanier area. So from us, it's like an hour. His wife wanted a Jeep. She was happy. Had the money in my hand. And I had to give it right back to him because when he started pulling off, it started overheating. Hadn't overheat since.
And I did a block test on it, and it failed.
Did it fail or
yes,
pass?
It failed. Yeah. I was like, it failed the block test because he left it running, which is a very smart thing to do. Tip time, good people.
Yes.
If you're buying a vehicle, let the vehicle sit there and idle for at least 20-30 minutes after your test drive. So after you come back from a test drive, don't turn it off. Let it sit there and just run with the AC on perfectly, because with the AC on, it just, you can do on or off. It doesn't matter.
Put it on. Let it kick on and see.
Well, because the condenser gets real hot. So the condenser sits in front of the radiator. So in theory, it's dragging hot air through the radiator. Very harsh on the cooling system when you use your AC compressor, and it puts a slight load on the engine at idle. In general, put a slight load. So let it just sit there and idle, and that's what he did. And the temperature hand started running up.
I gave him that cash right back. Yep. He was so sad. I was sad, man.
But he wanted that truck because it was beautiful.
Rather have slept well at night and junked the car because money come and go.
Because I truly didn't know. I got it back to the shop, fixed the problem. Test drove it rode good like it did with him. I just didn't never let it sit at idle.
He says, you guys are awesome. Only car channel I have subscribed to.
Oh, man, I appreciate the love.
Red, really stop playing, Red. You playing out here. You mean to tell me? With so many others out there. We just do.
I appreciate the love. I really do.
Open honesty, integrity, man. All that. That don't mean we don't have bad days, but hey,
everybody have bad days.
Yeah, we do what we can do. He said it's a 1992 Lexus ES300.
Okay, I'm gonna work on your memory. You don't remember?
Work on my memory. I'm just.
No, I'm going off of your memory because I don't remember.
See how he do me? See how? Now David ain't said nothing in a while. Let's go up all the way back up.
Oh,
remember his.
David, what's going on? You got to bring us back up to speed.
Alexis,
we're doing this a lot.
Okay, lately. No, he's talking about this. This was his original. I've replaced the serpentine belt.
Okay, yeah, the Lexuses, they have that where you have to pre-tighten the thing. You got to watch the mechanic because most mechanics don't know how to properly manually tighten belts these days, because if you don't properly tighten it, it's weird. But you say you did it several times, so check those things. The way you check the pulleys, if you take off all the belts and you spin them each by hand and listen out for any noise, they should spin nice and freely. They shouldn't bind up. They shouldn't hit any rough spots. If it does any of that, get it fixed. If you got any leaks, get it fixed. Start there and you should be fine.
Thanks. I'll stay away from Kia. Please do.
Yes.
Please do.
But it's number one in another country. And
yeah, but not the crap that us Americans get. I forgot what the number one Kia was over there. Something I don't even know. Lake Automotive said we changed so many Kia engines at the shop, it's not even funny. So look, just life. Pay attention to what Lex is saying. Yeah, the engines are crap. They consume oil.
If I remember correctly, he'd be giving some good advice to people.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan says, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Car Doctor. When changing brake pads, should you change the rotors as well, or just make sure that they are in their minimum thickness? Thank you.
It is recommended you resurface the rotors depending on what condition they are in. You have to learn how to read the rotors. I'm gonna probably do some videos on that, but people don't like to listen to me sometimes when it comes to simple stuff. Depending on what condition they're in, but if they're coming off the old brake pads, they most likely glazed, and it's important if you're trying to save money. Just go to O'Reilly's, and I think they will
do resurface rotors. Because I'm finna say a lot of shops don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's going away. Or the simplest thing to do if they've been on there for a while, if they look in bad shape to you, just replace them.
I wonder if O'Reilly still cut rotors. They normally charge like $25.
It's recommended to resurface or replace, because if you put new pads on those glazed rotors, you'll start running into brake noise sometimes.
Especially if you went metal to metal, definitely change them. Yes. You get that a lot. People grind the brakes down and, just do the brakes. No, ma'am.
I'm denying it. It'll cut a groove. It just won't be right.
Yeah. So But I will say, listen, if you short on cash, just go ahead and put your new brakes. Don't tell them I said that, because that's exactly what I would do.
It'll be
Just ride right
fine.
quick. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Louis says, what do you think about the 2000 Impala 3.4? You think I can get 300K plus out of it? It has been very well maintained.
Those 3.4s was pretty good. The only downside those things have is the lower intake manifold. They like to chew up. Just the gaskets go, and they are very weak when it comes to head gasket. You cannot let them overheat. Heck, I've seen them when they didn't overheat, and the head gasket just deteriorates. It's this graphite material of head gasket they use, and back to coolant matters. If you're pouring water and incorrect coolant in there, it'll eat up that graphite material, and there goes your head gasket without even running it hot. So if it was well maintained, you should be fine, because I've seen them things with good well up there, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Orlando says, I have a Lexus RX 2011 with 206,230 miles. I only do regular maintenance. What you recommend I have to do now? Keep her running 100,000 miles more.
The RX that's the little SUV truck, if I remember correctly.
I don't see Lexus in the shop, so I'm not really good on those. But
do your fluids most definitely do your fluids, like power steering, brake fluid. A lot of people neglect that stuff. If it's all-wheel drive, change your DEF fluids. Of course, change your belts. I don't know. What he just said. Normally, I know the engine size from the Lexus by the description, be like 350, RX 350 or something like that, and that means most likely a 3.5 or something.
Them Lexus will run forever though. He got the right idea. You got it going on, Orlando. Just keep doing what you do.
Yeah, Toyota is the bomb. Yeah, I've seen them. Lexus is Toyota, so I call it a Toyota. You can neglect that truck and it'll still get you that miles, but
don't do that though.
Yeah, please don't do that. But change your fluids. That's the only thing I can say about that Lexus. It's pretty easy to maintain, and do your spark plugs, stuff like that.
Michael Adam, what's up? Big fan. Hey, any ideas on why my 97 Nissan, is it a hard body?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. He has to have a hard body.
Don't go over 2,000 RPMs in limp mode.
Oh, it's an older truck. I haven't really dealt with that engine in a while.
Did the hard body I sold, did it have a limp mode problem?
No, it didn't have a limp mode problem.
It had some problem.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to help there, buddy. I just don't see. Well, I don't see those like that anymore. But if I would to throw a guess, I need to know more information. Do you have check engine light codes that'll point you in the right direction? You may have a stopped up cat. Won't go over 2,000 RPMs. Does the engine do something funny when it reaches 2,000 RPMs? Shoot me some more information. I'll try to help with the knowledge I have.
We're going to try to give you something.
Yeah.
Jonathan Price says, what is the best, a reman motor or used or new? And he asking that for both motor or transmission.
Okay.
What's the best?
Well, it's funny because sometimes, depending on what year of car you have, you can't get a new motor. They just
no reman.
Yeah, well, no new. They talking about just straight up new.
But lately, I can't find a reman for certain stuff. Yeah. I can't remember what's the last one, but I looked up something. Nothing available, so we had to go use.
Let me see. What's the best reman? I would say whatever you can get your hands on. Both is really good options. Reman has the slight disadvantage because you're dealing with companies like Jasper. They have people taking old engines and refurbish them with new parts. That's why I said basically it's a new engine. The only thing they're reusing is probably the crank. That's probably been reworked, and the block. Everything else is new. So you're subjected to human error versus a new engine. Most likely it's done on a machine assembly plant and with very little human input involved. So you're gonna have that advantage with when it comes to brand new.
You're gonna have problems with any of them.
Yeah, because machine fail too, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like, but my answer is new is the best thing because that goes for transmission as well.
Yeah, because reman, I always tell people they give you a 4-5 year warranty for a reason.
Yes.
It's gonna something could happen, and either way you're covered. I would definitely say you get a better warranty when you go the reman or new route versus used. However, I would still vote used. That's just me. I've always bought used.
Yeah, I've always bought used,
and we've never purchased like for our personal cars.
We're frugal. I'm gonna stop
Yeah.
saying cheap because I try to save money because running a business. Oh my gosh,
Right.
so much.
One
bills.
time we bought a used engine only to find out it was a reman
Yep.
because the person who had the car, I guess, totaled it from the back, had just put a reman engine in it.
Man, it was amazing.
So if you want long, big warranty, less headache, go newer reman. But if you want to be frugal and still have the same great outcome, go used.
Yeah.
It's all about your wallet, really.
That's our answer.
Yeah. Alice is a hardworking man. You too, stay blessed. We will,
Thank
Tony.
You so much, Mr.
Have
Tony.
a good evening, sir. Ever Greatest says, I have a 2012 Chrysler 300. The recirculation button turns on when the car is off, which make the car stink. How to fix that?
So, you most likely have a cabin air filter problem. You've been neglecting to change your cabin filter or didn't know about it. Or no, it's not your fault because the mechanics probably never told you about it who's been servicing your vehicle. So I would start with the cabin air filter. Change that out. Get some it's like some special spray that you spray
Walmart,
in.
that little bomb.
Yeah, that'll work too. Because you're gonna have to clean it now because it's been bacteria buildup inside the vents. Yeah, it's been bacteria buildup, so you're gonna have to get that out.
Mm-hmm. What about the recirculation button? They got something to do with it.
The recirculation button, all that does is
it turns on when the car is off.
I don't know. I need more information, but that all that does is recirculate the air inside versus bringing fresh air outside in.
So you saying the recirculation button is recirculating the
cabin
air filter?
Well, the cabin air filter is going to work regardless, but I don't know. It's something strange going on inside her vent, so she's going to have to change the cabin filter and run some antibacterial cleaning stuff through her HVAC system, which is all the vents and whatnot.
All right.
I'll probably do a video on that. I'll make a good video how to disinfect your
ducts. Ken Casper says, this is a fun question. 2013 Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi with the chirping noise. We just ran into that. Mm-hmm.
Chirping noise.
Remember that? Well, that was a 3.6. It was the lifters.
Was it? I would have
to. He got the car from me because of it. The Navigator. His.
Oh yeah,
it was chirping.
Was making crazy funny noises.
Out it was the lifter.
Sure was.
I thought you said my memory went working at night.
No, I said it was. I'm relying on your memory. I was trying to give you praise.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, husband. Yes. You're so nice to me.
The best way to diagnose this is figure out when it's gonna make the chirping noise. If it's all the time, just completely remove your serpentine belt. Now you can only remove your serpentine belt up to a certain amount of time before your car start running hot. The car will run without a serpentine belt, but just not long because it'll run hot. So remove the serpentine belt to eliminate the belt because it could be possibly your belt making a chirping noise as well. So just take it completely off, crank the car. Like, okay, it's not making it anymore, or if it's still making it, then most likely you have some kind of internal engine problem.
Mm-hmm. Chirping. We just experienced that with
it sounded so weird.
Yeah, chirping. We had never heard that before, but come to find out it was his lifters. But that was
diagnosed it.
Was that a Hemi though?
Yeah, it was like a 10 or 11. Yeah, it was Hemi.
Oh.
Same generation.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, hope it's not that, Ken, but that was the case for him. All right. He says, Daniel BC says, okay, my truck is an 08 Silverado, my absolute dream truck. My question is, he says, do I have the heavy duty towing package? Will the transmission cooler, will it make its 4L60E last longer?
If you do have the tow package, it's going to come with an external transmission cooler, and it will prolong the life of any transmission. Not only dealing with your truck, this goes across the board. Um, Heat kills transmissions. For those who don't know, and when the transmissions get to a certain temperature, the fluid breaks down, no longer protecting and doing its job inside that transmission, and you start burning up stuff. So you can add a transmission cooler to any transmission. You just got to find somebody to know what they're doing when adding that external cooler. It's a funny story. We got time, right? We out of kind of out of time. Is this mechanic working on my neighbor's truck years ago, and he was replacing a 4L60 on an Avalanche, and where he was putting the cooler was like underneath the truck behind something. I simply said, dude, that's not gonna work. That transmission cooler need to be out front. It needs air. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I build race cars. Dude, we're not on a track. I just simply said, okay, and walked away. Week later, he doing the transmission again.
And we was like, what's up, man?
So, yeah.
Some people, you can't tell them nothing. It says, have you ever replaced a dashboard on the 08 Chevy Silverado? It's fun. Fun fact, this generation of truck has 2 different types of dashboards.
Yes, it's weird. I've done one. I try not, be honest with you, I try not to remember my dashboard jobs. It's one of those things that
you don't want to do it no more.
That and the quicker I do it, I don't want to think about it or dream about it, so I quickly forget. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Fun.
He says, funny story. One day my Silverado oil pressure to 0, and I remembered it was the oil pressure sensor. I panic it when I have them. I guess he has some. Do you ride around with spares in your car?
That's what I do.
Alex got to spare everything. Nathan says, I have an 05 Mazda 6 2.3 with an air leak. Will start but won't idle. Replace PCV valve and hose. Any ideas on what should I get inspected?
You're gonna have to do a smoke test. Smoke test, I keep coming back to it because it's just a wonderful diagnostic tool that you can use if used properly. You gotta know how to use your tools. So I would do a smoke test in order not to prevent just throwing money down the drain, because you can just be throwing, oh, it needs this, need that. It sounds like this. Smoke test is the safest way. The old school method is people taking combustible things like brake cleaner and spray it. Do not do that. It can start a fire. The safest way, if you're trying to save money and don't want to deal with a shop, get you a water bottle, fill it up with water, and spray it around your engine. Yes, it's okay for your water. It's okay for your engine to ingest water. It's completely safe in small quantities. That's why I said mist around it. And well, you said it won't idle, so
can't do that.
Yeah.
Will the smoke test still do?
Yes, because you do a smoke test with the engine off. So
we
smoke test
is your only option. Tutorial on how to do it.
Yeah, I am gonna do that.
I'm gonna add that to the list for you. But start with a smoke test, Nathan. That should point you in the right direction.
A big vacuum.
Hey, you know what? Big up to, we got a lot of Monster people in here this week.
Yeah.
All right.
Monster in the house.
Other than this issue, how that Monster treating you, Nathan? Let us know in the chat.
That's that 2-3.
There go Gene. How you doing? What's up, Gene?
Mr. G, what's happening?
Sound Drive Music said we cut rotors at Napa and Key Largo.
I forgot about Napa. My bad, Napa. My bad.
Napa know-how.
I forgot about y'all.
You,
they cut rotors down here too in Napa.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I didn't know certain that. Napas.
Ryan says, thanks for the help. Have a great evening. You too,
no
sir.
Problem.
Green
Pleasure.
Turtle says, it only happens intermittently with my traction control light. Comes on my 2013 Chevy Sonic 1.4 liter turbo. Does that mean the wheel bearing is bad? It happens on dry roads.
Could be. It could be lots of things. But traction control, it normally comes on when your wheels are spinning. When the computer detects one wheel faster than the other, it'll break down the power of the vehicle to prevent that wheel from spinning. So a lot of people will have this issue if they have bad tires or they're driving on bad roads or dirt roads, or your sensor could be dirty itself. But I would start by checking for play in the wheel, because a bad wheel bearing, you would notice that it'd be making a humming or roaring sound on the freeway once you get off the bad roads.
Awesome. Sound Drive Me said, we love you guys. We love you
Yes,
back.
same here.
I like doing these lives because you get
Yeah.
to see how people really feel about you, you know. Instead of watching the channel, you got this many views, and it's good to get the
place. Much love on YouTube
Yeah.
in general. I get the most hate
on TikTok. It's hostile over there.
God, them folks be over there fighting. I'm like,
people crazy.
Y'all are too hostile for me. They just take over
They get
my
arguing in the
thread.
comments.
I'm like, what is wrong with these folks over there at TikTok?
I tell Allie, let them folks be. Let them argue.
It's just to be a big list of somebody going back and forth. No, this, that. I'm like, okay, y'all.
He said, Gene says, I think I'm gonna need y'all help to finish the vehicle. Listen, all I can do is stand there and be pretty and bring y'all some lemonade. All right, while y'all help fix the vehicle. I don't know nothing about turning wrenches. I know a little something. But what you need help with?
Yes.
Drop it down here in the chat. Cabin Active is brand new.
Oh wow.
In her.
Okay. So she's definitely gonna have to disinfect the vents in the car. Most automotive shops sell that service. I am gonna try to put together a video on how to do that service because it is a thing out here.
Yeah. So disinfect
the HVAC system.
Yeah. Ken says all the time, referring to the chirping Hemi RAM.
Okay, so that'll be an easy diag for you then. Remove the belt, crank it up. If it's still chirping, you know it's not the belt related system. Then you're gonna have to start digging a little bit deeper. Pull off valve covers. Well, how does the car run?
Is it skipping?
Yeah, because I think his ran pretty good though.
Yeah, it did. His car ran fine.
Yeah,
I have to text him, shoot him a text and ask him. Said, hey, my car only starts. Businessman says, hey, my car only starts in neutral.
I would need to know what type of car you have.
What you got?
But most likely your neutral safety switch is malfunctioning. When you go to put it in park, it's not really registering park. It's still probably registering reverse.
Very common.
So you either have a stretched cable or a improperly adjusted cable, or just a bad neutral safety switch.
And the neutral safety switch is located
on the transmission,
underneath the gear.
No, they're normally on the transmission, or sometimes they're internally, depending on what type of car you have.
Inside the transmission.
Yeah, the GM likes to do that.
Which car got it when you do the gear shift?
That's just the
Nissan Altimas. They had that problem all the time.
That's just the lock.
Yeah,
that's.
They call you the doctor for a reason.
Yeah, that's just a shift lock. The shift lock is inside the shifter assembly where it unlocks itself when you push the brake. The neutral safety switch is located on the transmission on just about all makes and models of cars. Like I said, sometime internally. OJ just got finished dealing with something like that. He replaced a transmission on a Captiva or something, and it was throwing neutral safety switch codes, and it was internally, and he just had to replace the transmission again because it was under warranty, and they were like, it's send you another one.
All right, Evergrande says, to be specific, the car is not allowing fresh air in while it's parked. It feels like the air circulated mode is always turned on when the car is off. How do I undo it?
You have some type of error then.
Electrical issues, perhaps?
Yeah, something is wrong. Normally, when something is stuck, dealing with the because it's a mode door. When you hit that recirculation button, it's a door that actually flops open, blocking off whether you're trying to do recirculate or fresh air. Most likely to detected one of those. I can't think of it right now. The actuator motors, the door actuator motors is probably one of them not working. So if it's not responding, it's saying, hey, I have an error. One of the actuators is not working. It's stuck.
It comes on after the car is off.
It's a 300. Them 300 sometimes is very buggy.
I think, was it a 300?
Yeah, some kind of Chrysler. I do remember
they have very buggy electrical.
Yeah, that's something like that I would have to see and diagnose in person, to be honest with you.
He said, good stream. Hope you all have a great night. We will.
Same here, Mr.
All right. Actually, We need to wrap it up, guys. So I'll
Yes.
take a few more questions because
I wish I could take them all.
right, yeah. It says it's hard to replace a catalytic converter.
Depending on what type of vehicle we're dealing with. Some vehicles replacing cats are a breeze. And it depends on where the vehicle came from.
Mhm.
If it came from cancerous
Up
states,
north, winter, cold, rust.
oh my gosh, yes, it's
What
gonna be a nightmare.
Motor Medic said that rust dust. You got that under
rust
there?
dust. So if you got rust dust, let the professionals let them bust their knuckles and scratch their heads over it. But if it's good old Georgia car, something on down there, South car,
Mhm.
you're fine.
And it depends on where it's located too.
Mhm.
Every car is different.
Yeah.
Davin, so let us know what you're making tomorrow. Daniel says, sorry, my spelling's not the best. I use text to speech. Oh man, you're good.
Yeah, you're fine. My spelling not the best neither. Don't tell nobody.
You just told everybody.
These my people.
Businessman, it will start fine after running for a while. So he's saying that when it going back to the guy that was like
oh yeah, with the Mazda that had the vacuum leak.
No, this is it him or the safety neutral switch guy?
I don't know. He said it would start fine after. Oh, wait
after it runs a while. It only starts in neutral. Then after it run a while, it'll start fine.
Oh, okay. This is not about the Mazda. Yeah, that's sounds like electrical issue. Sounds like when that neutral safety switch gets hot, it will probably start back working or something. These are electronic parts, and sometimes electronic parts are funny when it comes to heat and cold.
Look, speaking of the More Medic, there you go right there. hey, Alex.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Daniel BC says, my teacher has a 2009 Chevy Colorado with the straight 6. He had the check engine light on for a year. Yikes. No one can figure it out. I think it probably and it wasn't a gas cap. Evap. He says he think it's probably evap and it wasn't a gas cap. See, I got you. I know how to read this stuff sometimes.
Now I'm starting to figure out not everybody is good diagnosing people, because a lot of people come up to me from very far away because the people in their town can't figure it out, or they just don't lost all faith in wherever they're from. Because they bring it down to me and I boom, that's the problem. Either take it back up there and have them replace it, which they probably are very good at, or bring it back down to me and let me fix it for you. Mm-hmm. So they're not diagnosing something. They're not following the proper steps and the procedures.
William Evans said, unlit propane torch can detect the leak, speeds up when the vac leak gets the propane.
See, I don't like messing around with combustible gases when it comes to finding leaks, because you ingest gas, propane, which most time it's going to be fine. But let's say you have a spark plug wire or spark jump sometimes from the ignition system. It will ignite that propane, or the wrong mixture is ingested in the car at the wrong time and the car backfires. It backfires and it's going to ignite that propane. So I don't like dealing with combustible materials when it comes to finding leaks. I've set some stuff on fire in my younger days dealing with combustible materials. So that's not such a good idea.
Nathan says, the Mazda has been treating me pretty well. It's just had been rebuilt totally. Slowly trying to get it fully running, treating me well at 200,000.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that.
Awesome. More Medic says, I've learned so much from your awesome teaching videos.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. I like his channel too. He says, businessman said it's a 2.7 Dodge Charger.
It starts well after it warms up. That Charger that 2.7 is a funny breed. Oh my gosh.
It's just, if I had to pick between a 3.6 and a 2.7.
Oh, 3.6
all day long. I do them lifters 10 times before I buy a 2.7.
Because the 2.7s they're sluggish. I mean, no power. They're gutless.
So what would you think that it would run fine after he started?
I would need more information, like check engine lights. That's something.
Drop in the chat. Tell us all what you can, businessman. OEM head gaskets on that Outback. Good. Absolutely, yeah. All right. Hey, Doc and wife, I have a 2021 Mazda. It's a Mazda night.
I love
When
it.
would you recommend changing the differential fluid? Vinny Perez.
Like I said, like we said, we don't see too many Mazdas in the shop, so I don't get a chance to like look into it frequently enough. But I can't even say buts because every car is different. I'm gonna say at least every 50. You just have to check your owner's manual or call your local dealership and be like, hey, what's the intervals I need to come in to change my differential fluid? If it's all-wheel drive, if it's a front-wheel drive, you just change your transmission fluid because it don't have a diff. The transmission fluid lubricates it does have a diff, but it's lubricated with the transmission fluid.
All right. And
Ira
in the building. Enjoy seeing more videos and live chats. Ira, we really trying to stay consistent, my dear. You know what I'm saying? We done started this thing and now we gotta keep going strong.
Thanks for the super chat.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Really. Gerald Zachary says, what's the website? And I got it for you right there. That's gonna have all the contact information. So if you're in Atlanta, near Atlanta, in Georgia, because we have customers that's traveling now to the shop, which is great.
It's amazing.
On the website, Alex the Car Doctor, everything is Alex the Car Doctor. So you should be able to get the address, Google,
Instagram,
everything,
Facebook, Alex the Car Doctor.
Yeah, everything is Alex the Car Doctor.
We gotta wrap this up. 1:15.
Listen, I would love to sit here and talk to y'all. I gotta say hey to Atia Sean. What's happening?
Hey.
I gotta he says, have you seen the 2023 Mercedes EGE?
No, that's too new. That sounds like an electric Mercedes.
All right, and Atia Sean says, what happens when you tap a starter to work mechanically?
Okay, I don't have time to explain. Yeah,
go ahead one more time.
Okay, so when the concept behind this is when you tap a starter, they have a contact inside the starter. And when you hit that starter switch, it bridges a contact and sending power to the starter motor. So sometimes when you go to click your car and it don't start, you hear the thing clicking, but it's not making good contact to send power to the motor. When you hit it, sometimes it knocks debris like burnt. It's like build up on that contact. Sometimes it knocks it off and sometimes knocks stuff loose like debris. Like, I don't know electrical terms that much, but it agitates it and then it starts making a good contact and you are briefly able to start up your vehicle.
It works. It'll get you somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
Gene said it's a 06 Infinity. Gene, find Alex on Instagram. That way y'all can do a two-way exchange.
Yes.
Businessman, he said he gonna Instagram you with the 2.7 would start sometime, then we'll start run. You know what I'm talking about. Streetlight Auto LLC said, hey guys, enjoy your channel. I'm a mobile tech in Indiana.
Oh, nice.
What is one thing you would have changed or done differently while being a mobile tech, or one thing that was very beneficial?
I'm gonna let you answer this one.
Look, I don't know about Indiana, but Atlanta is a very big place. There's a lot of traffic here now. And what I had Alex to do, instead of him driving cross town from Decatur to Brookhaven and Decatur,
short,
dominate a community. Okay, like I said, I don't know how big Indiana is, but dominate a specific county. Okay, that way you cut time down on your travel time. You making more money, because if you're sitting in traffic burning up daylight, you're making less money. So your job is as a mobile mechanic, you should not be taking on big jobs. You're gonna make the most money doing quick, boom, 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 quick stuff. All right, that's just what was beneficial. With Alex and I back when we were doing that kind of thing, staying local, dominating an area, and quick jobs. You know, say no to certain stuff. All green money ain't good money. You don't want something tying up your time, because now you're stuck on a $1,500 job when you could have just made $1,500 in 2 days buzzing around. All right,
that's the money. Easy money is the best money, and be stern with people. Have people sign stuff. Because
oh yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of predatory.
Predatory people. Square, get Square. You can do your website. You can take your money through Square, and you can also create contracts and invoices through Square.
Get paperwork, because a lot of people will try to, after you leave, cancel their transaction, and yeah, you get nothing.
Don't take PayPal, because that has happened to where Alex have stayed there from 9 to 5 working on this boy's car And I'm saying boy because he was a young kid at the time. Soon as the gate locked, called PayPal. We wound up suing them.
Beautiful community. 2 gates I had to go through.
They had money, so he was just scamming. So protect yourself out there. I know this is gonna sound bad, but I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Everybody's problem cannot be your problem. You are there to do a service. Do that service, get paid, and go. You can't listen to if we collected on all the money that somebody said, well, I'm gonna pay you and we'd be rich. We'd be rich right now.
I've done that, and it messes me over every time because I'm stuck trying to figure out how I'm gonna feed my kids because this person didn't come in on time to pay what they promised me.
Nope, you are there to do a service. Do the service. Now, if I don't know your belief system, but if the good Lord tell you to bless somebody, bless them. But you're running a business, not a charity. Go there, collect your money, and go. And
be a businessman. Don't let nothing get personal.
Also have people, like if they want to book you, and I've seen other mobile mechanics do this, and I know the market may be a little different in Indiana and Atlanta, but if they want to book you, have them do a $25 deposit or a $25 travel fee. You got to get paid.
I would have them do that up front, make sure they're serious.
To secure their appointment. So we can go on all day about mobile mechanic. It's great money.
Hit us up on Instagram if you have any questions or need further advice. We'll be happy to help you.
It's great money. Gerald Zachary says, love your channel. Thank you. We put a lot into it. Yes. I know I put a lot of thought into it. Yeah, for sure. I just tell him what to say. I'm like more like, speaking of Indiana, like Joe Jackson, this Michael right here. And sometimes he don't want to be listening. I'd be like, cut. We about to do it again.
That's funny.
But we thank you. Nicholas says, found your content on TikTok, and I'm glad. Thank you.
YouTube is where it's at because whatever I post on TikTok is on YouTube.
It comes after YouTube. So come if you want the fresh content that's like off the top.
YouTube gets all my lives. YouTube gets all everything.
Sweet T says, thank you both. Excellent content. And Lakes is asking Streetlight, do you have a channel? Because they both in Indiana. So y'all make sure y'all connect.
Y'all definitely connect. Help each other out down there. Y'all stick together.
But guys, that is our time because we got to get up and go to work in the morning and take people to soccer camp, et cetera, et cetera. I got to go cook. So we got to leave you.
Like always, love you guys. I appreciate y'all for coming on and joining the live and being part of this journey with me. I really appreciate it.
It really is a road. And sometimes it gets so hard because you're like, man, making these videos. It only got this many views.
My wife and you guys that keep me motivated to keep this YouTube stuff. So y'all make sure y'all share and, share the love. Like y'all always do. Appreciate you.
Hold on. Now, Sporty. He said, you troll Dodge a lot. How do you feel about Dodge port injected 3.2 in the early 300s? They say they bulletproof.
I think they are because I don't see too many of them. Whatever I don't see in my shop is a good thing. 3.2s. Yeah.
And we don't be trolling Dodge, Sporty. We just telling people. We just documenting what come in. We like Dodge. I said
I love Dodge.
All right.
I want a regular. I want a Gladiator diesel.
Yeah. We didn't get no Pentastar, but still. All right, y'all. Listen, we gotta go. Devin, good night. Good night. Love you all.
Everybody.
God bless. Have a good evening. Good work week ahead.
Yep.